Hey there guys, quick video today, and this is the only video that I'm going to put out today because this is kind of an important topic because I think it can set precedent for an entire state, let alone other jurisdictions and other states throughout the country. One of our friends in the YouTube community, Josh with Black Diamond Guns and Gear, has a tract of land, about 8 acres total, that his family lives on, and it's adjacent to another portion of land, a little bit larger portion of land. I don't want to talk about too much of it to get into the weeds, because you can go to his YouTube channel, again, Black Diamond Guns and Gear, and read more about it or hear more about it. But he's essentially getting sued in a county that is friendly to gun ranges and people shooting on their own property. In fact, there's not even a noise ordinance that would apply in this case. But he's being sued by his neighbor, who is kind of skirting around the issue, knowing that there's not a noise ordinance, and they're saying that he is commercially conducting business on his property. In other words, allowing people to pay him to go shoot on his property. And that doesn't happen. He essentially shoots on his own property to put together YouTube videos that he then uploads. Get this, they've done an injunction, or granted an injunction, which prohibits him right now from even putting a video out that he can monetize on YouTube. So there's, to me, 2 issues at hand here. One, the fact that he's not being allowed to shoot on his own property. The second one, I feel like they've gone at least as far, maybe farther, is just telling him, even though there's no law against what you're doing, the courts don't want you making videos on your property of you shooting your guns on your property and then uploading those to YouTube and monetizing them, or even have a sponsor pay him money for a video that he might film on his property in an area that's supposedly friendly to gun ranges and people shooting on their own property. Again, in an area that has no noise ordinances. This is crazy. The reason why I'm putting the video out is I talked to Josh earlier today, and they are going to have, the court date has finally been set in stone without being pushed back. They've run this thing for 3 years now. They've continued to postpone court dates and made it hard on Josh, essentially just prolonging the inevitable, I guess, for a better part of 3 years now, going on 4. Josh is looking for anybody in that area. I think it's Blount County in Tennessee, East Tennessee. Anybody in the area that might want to go to the courthouse to at least show some support for Josh during this court case, not knowing how the judge is going to rule. This is not at least to my knowledge of it, this is not a jury-based issue. This is a civil issue, not a criminal issue. So the judge is going to make the ruling on this. So this would show a unified, kind of a show of solidarity, if you will, of gun owners and Second Amendment people in that Eastern Tennessee area. Because people in Tennessee, let me let you guys know, if they're successful with no law that he's violating now, just with the stroke of a pen, and with a judge deciding that his opinion is that Josh should not be allowed to shoot on his property, which is wrong, because he's not allowing people to pay him to come shoot on his property, which would make that a commercial gun range, which it is not. If the judge allows that to happen, the state of Tennessee may be setting a very dangerous precedent for the entire rest of that state, that suddenly becomes not so friendly to any of these gun ranges or people shooting on their own property. Now, I know what I would probably do, but we all say things outside of that bubble when we're not part of that issue. So I understand what Josh has done. Josh has done a really good job of not shooting at all on his property and waiting until this is settled in the courts. But just like him, I'm fearful that the judge might rule a certain way, especially in these smaller communities. Judges somehow seem to always be politically tied to somebody. And I don't know the politics behind this, but it's very possible this larger landowner, they may have a tie to this judge. It might just be they drink coffee together in the morning. I'm suppositioning here, obviously. I'm saying what could be. I don't know this. But in these smaller communities and smaller counties, in many cases, families know families, people know people. They have interactions with one another, and sometimes the politics may not be on full display. It may be small town politics that nobody else knows about, but it does exist. It can certainly move the needle a little bit, if you will. So if you would, please go to Black Diamond Guns and Gear. Again, that's Black Diamond Guns and Gear on YouTube. I'll put a link down below to his channel. Go check him out. You probably can get details there. If for some reason you don't find the details there, I will get them from Josh. I will post them down below. I'll post what courthouse it is, what day exactly, and what time. But it is going to be this week. I think the day after tomorrow, or maybe Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Today being the 21st of October. I think he said the 23rd. So I'll get that information. I'll post that in the description down below. But I wanted to put this out there. This is my only video for the day because I do think this topic is extremely important. And hopefully you guys will support Josh in what he's trying to do to stand up for gun owners being able to exercise their Second Amendment rights on their own privately owned property. And again, basically in the country. This is not like this guy's not shooting next to a city park or anything. So again, I think that what he's standing up for is legitimate and very noble of him to do that. So I fully support him in his efforts and I wish him well. Obviously, I'm not going to be there. I'm down here in Louisiana, but hopefully some of you guys in that East Tennessee area can find your way over there and possibly show some support for him at the courthouse later on this week. Thanks, guys.